Empires collapsed, kings lost their minds, and darkness spread across the land. Some men faced armies so large, survival seemed impossible. Others crossed forbidden lines, chasing power, revenge, or desperate answers. These are the greatest miracles and the darkest stories ever written.
Israel no longer slept in peace beneath the darkening skies. Beyond the hills, enemy fires burned closer with every passing night. Inside the palaces, fear spread faster than wisdom ever could. Kings argued through the night while whispers of judgment haunted the throne rooms. Across Israel, one name returned again and again through fearful whispers. Elijah walked the wilderness like a prophet, followed by storms and heavenly fire. Some feared Elijah more than armies or kings themselves. Wherever the prophet walked, idols shattered and silence swallowed entire cities. But even prophets grow weary beneath the weight of heaven. Far from the kingdoms, Elijah walked alone toward the final road awaiting him. In a distant field, Elisha worked quietly beside 12 powerful oxen. He did not know destiny was already walking through the storm toward him. Then Elijah appeared through the blowing dust without warning or explanation. Even the workers fell silent as the atmosphere itself suddenly changed. Without speaking, Elijah placed his mantle across Elisha's shoulders. In one silent moment, the farmer's ordinary life disappeared forever. Elisha looked into Elijah's eyes and saw something terrifyingly heavy. The old prophet carried sorrow, judgment, power, and heaven itself within him. Then Elijah simply turned and walked away into the storm. Elisha already knew the old life behind him would never feel whole again. Elisha hurried home for one final goodbye before following the prophet. His family saw immediately that something inside him had already changed forever. The farewell carried sorrow, fear, love, and destiny all at once. When Elisha stepped outside again, home no longer felt like home. Villagers watched Elijah and Elisha disappear into the night together. Some whispered the farmer had just walked willingly into the storm itself. Years passed beside Elijah, on lonely roads filled with fire and fear. Elisha learned that prophets survived through loyalty. Then strange whispers spread through Israel's prophetic circles by sunrise. Everyone feared Elijah would be taken away before the day finally ended. Beneath darkening skies, Elijah and Elisha continued toward Bethel together. Even the prophets upon the walls feared heaven was moving beside them. Inside Bethel, nervous prophets surrounded Elisha with trembling warnings. Every voice repeated the same terrible truth waiting at the edge of day. Elisha answered sharply, though fear already tore through his heart. He knew the warnings were true, but refused to speak them aloud.
Stay here, Elisha.
Again, Elijah tested him beside the lonely, storm-filled road. But Elisha refused to leave the prophet no matter where destiny led.
I will follow you.
The farther they traveled, the stranger the world around them became. Even the wind carried the pressure of something unseen approaching from heaven. At Jericho, prophets gathered silently like witnesses awaiting an impossible event.
It is time.
Every face carried fear as Elijah walked toward the final road ahead.
The day is perilous.
Once more, the prophets warned Elisha about the coming separation. By now, grief and loyalty burned inside him stronger than fear itself. For the final time, Elijah told Elisha to remain behind. Yet Elisha swore he would follow the prophet until the very end. Then the Jordan River appeared beneath violent, supernatural storm clouds. The impossible waters roared like a living wall before both prophets. 50 prophets watched from distant hills in fearful silence. Elijah walked calmly toward the raging river, without hesitation or fear. The old prophet lifted his mantle high into the heavens. Storm winds screamed across the valley as heaven prepared to answer him. Suddenly, the Jordan River exploded apart before their eyes. Towering walls of water rose upward like something from another world.
What happens?
As they crossed the impossible riverbed, Elisha finally understood the truth. Elijah was preparing to leave this world forever beneath the storm-filled heavens. Beyond the river, Elijah stopped walking and faced his student quietly. The old prophet looked at Elisha like he was weighing the future itself. With trembling voice, Elisha revealed the impossible desire hidden inside him. He asked for a double portion of Elijah's spirit before the end arrived. Even Elijah looked shaken after hearing such a dangerous request. Some burdens carried the weight of heaven and could never be given lightly. Then Elijah revealed the terrifying condition for receiving the blessing. Elisha would need to witness the moment heaven carried the prophet away. Without warning, the storm above them split apart violently. Heavenly fire burst through the clouds as the wilderness trembled beneath their feet. A blazing chariot descended from heaven, pulled by horses of living fire. The air itself struggled to contain the terrifying power surrounding it. The chariot separated Elijah and Elisha in an explosion of heavenly fire. Before Elisha could reach him, the prophet rose into the whirlwind above. Elisha collapsed in grief as Elijah vanished beyond the storm forever. Suddenly, the wilderness felt unbearably empty and silent around him. Then Elijah's mantle drifted slowly downward through smoke and embers. The falling cloth became proof that the prophet was truly gone forever. Elisha lifted the mantle carefully from the empty wilderness ground. It no longer felt like cloth, but responsibility, loneliness, and terrifying power. Yet one frightening question still haunted Elisha beside the river. Had Elijah's spirit truly remained, or had heaven abandoned him completely? The Jordan still roared like an impossible wall before the young prophet. Now Elijah was gone, and Elisha stood completely alone against the storm. With desperate faith, Elisha struck the river using Elijah's mantle. His voice echoed through the valley, demanding heaven answer him once again. For one terrible moment, absolutely nothing happened beside the roaring waters. Fear wrapped tightly around Elisha's heart as silence filled the valley. Then the Jordan River exploded apart exactly as it had before. The watching prophets realized Elijah's spirit truly rested upon Elisha now. Elisha crossed through the impossible river, while prophets bowed in fear. From that moment, nobody saw him merely as Elijah's servant anymore. Across Israel, whispers about Elisha spread faster than the storms themselves. People feared the prophet carried the unseen power of heaven upon him. But in Bethel, reckless young men mocked the prophet openly. They laughed loudly while nervous villagers stepped away from the growing tension. The insults became crueler as the youths followed Elisha through the streets. Their laughter echoed through Bethel, while fear quietly spread among the people. Then Elisha turned and faced the mocking crowd in silence. The moment they saw his eyes, the laughter weakened into fear. Elisha spoke a curse calmly in the name of the Lord. Immediately, the nearby forest fell into an unnatural and terrifying silence. Then 2 massive bears burst violently from the dark forest. Chaos exploded through the streets as the mocking crowd fled in terror. After that day, fear followed Elisha's name across all Israel. People no longer spoke of the prophet with curiosity, but trembling caution. Soon, kings began seeking Elisha whenever war threatened the kingdom. Enemy armies surrounded Israel while panic spread once more through the palace. The king demanded Elisha immediately as fear consumed the royal court. No army or fortress seemed powerful enough to save Israel anymore. But Elisha already knew every enemy trap before armies even marched. Again and again, Israel escaped disasters waiting hidden within the hills. The king of Aram became furious as every ambush mysteriously failed. Suspicion poisoned the royal war chamber like smoke filling the palace. At last, a servant revealed the truth nobody wished to hear. Elisha somehow knew even the king's secret words spoken behind closed doors. The king of Aram decided the prophet must be hunted down personally. Massive armies prepared through the night beneath storm-darkened skies. Before sunrise, enemy horses and chariots completely surrounded Elisha's city.
No way out.
The hills disappeared beneath soldiers, steel, and endless flickering torchlight. At dawn, Elisha's servant stepped outside and froze in absolute terror. Every mountain surrounding the city was covered with enemy armies. The terrified servant rushed inside while war horns echoed outside the walls.
Do not be afraid.
Yet Elisha remained completely calm beside the flickering morning fire. The prophet looked calmly at the servant, trembling with fear. Elisha promised greater forces stood beside them than against them. Still, the servant could only see the endless enemy armies outside. Fear overwhelmed him as the city waited helplessly beneath the siege. Then Elisha prayed not for victory or escape, but for sight. The atmosphere inside the room changed as heaven quietly drew near. Suddenly, the servant's eyes widened with horror and overwhelming awe. The mountains surrounding the city were no longer empty beneath the storm. Every hill burned with heavenly horses and chariots of living fire. Invisible armies surrounded Elisha like a blazing wall from heaven itself. At last, the servant understood the terrifying truth protecting the prophet. The enemy armies below were nothing beside heaven's unseen forces above. Then Elisha walked directly toward the enemy army, completely alone. While soldiers prepared for battle, the prophet carried only calmness and faith. Instead of surrendering, Elisha lifted his hand toward the enemy forces. The prophet prayed quietly, and supernatural blindness swept across the battlefield. Instant confusion erupted as soldiers stumbled blindly through the chaos. Horses panicked, chariots crashed, and fear spread through the entire valley.
You are in the wrong.
Then Elisha calmly guided the blinded army like helpless lost travelers. The soldiers followed unknowingly while confusion consumed their commanders completely. Without realizing it, the enemy army entered Israel's capital city itself. Guards upon the walls stared in disbelief at the impossible sight below.
Lord.
Once the enemy army stood trapped inside the city walls, Elisha prayed again. Slowly, the supernatural blindness began fading from the terrified soldiers' eyes. The enemy soldiers opened their eyes and discovered they were surrounded. Panic exploded through the trapped army inside the heart of Israel. The king of Israel rushed forward, eager for complete victory. To him, the helpless enemy army looked like an easy slaughter. But Elisha answered with mercy, instead of bloodshed and revenge. The enemy soldiers were fed, released, and sent home in peace. Years later, stories about Elisha spread far beyond Israel's borders. In Aram lived Naaman, a feared commander secretly dying from leprosy. Inside Naaman's home, a captured servant girl quietly offered hope. She spoke of a prophet in Israel who could heal impossible sickness. Desperate for healing, Naaman traveled toward Israel with treasures and soldiers. The mighty commander expected power, spectacle, and a legendary miracle. But when Naaman arrived, Elisha never even stepped outside to greet him. The proud commander waited angrily before the prophet's simple little house. Instead of ceremony, only a servant delivered Elisha's strange instruction. Naaman was told to wash 7 times within the Jordan River. Fury exploded inside Naaman as pride battled desperation within his heart. The mighty commander could not understand such a humiliating command. Then, one humble servant spoke carefully beside the halted caravan. His simple words pierced deeper than the prophet's command itself. At last, Naaman humbled himself and entered the muddy Jordan waters. Again and again he dipped beneath the river while nothing seemed different. On the 7th time, Naaman disappeared completely beneath the silent water. Even the wind stopped moving as everyone waited in fearful suspense. Then Naaman rose from the river, completely healed before everyone. The leprosy was gone, and his skin looked clean like a child's. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Naaman fell to his knees beside the river. The proud commander finally declared the God of Israel alone was real. But while Naaman departed transformed, greed quietly poisoned another heart nearby. Elisha's servant Gehazi watched the treasures disappear with restless eyes. Secretly, Gehazi chased after Naaman and lied in Elisha's name.
Take these gifts.
The commander generously handed over silver and garments without suspicion. Nothing remained hidden from Elisha's terrifying prophetic sight. Judgment fell instantly as Gehazi's skin turned pale with leprosy. And so the legend of Elisha spread across nations and kingdoms. He became the prophet who carried the terrifying unseen power of heaven itself. What if one day, without warning, the people meant to protect you abandoned you completely? Your future destroyed. Your name whispered in shame. Your life forgotten by everyone around you. Alone beneath the silent hills of Israel, Tamar watched everything she hoped for slowly disappear into darkness. But hidden inside her suffering was a story that would one day shape generations of kings. Grab your popcorn and get ready for the legendary story of Tamar. Israel hid a secret no family dared mention. And deep inside Judah's house, quiet darkness was already growing. Her name was Tamar, and nobody noticed her pain. While others celebrated, she silently carried heartbreak completely alone. Powerful men fought over land, honor, and inheritance. But Tamar's future was collapsing quietly behind Judah's household walls. Tamar prayed for peace, love, and children one day. She never imagined her story would shock all of Israel. Judah's family was feared and respected across the land. His sons walked proudly while villagers admired their power and wealth. One of Judah's sons was chosen to marry Tamar. Lanterns filled the night while music echoed across the celebration. But hidden inside Tamar's husband lived quiet cruelty and darkness. Behind closed doors, peace inside the household slowly disappeared. The people saw wealth, honor, and powerful family traditions. Tamar saw loneliness, fear, and her future collapsing before her eyes. Then suddenly, tragedy struck Judah's household without warning. Fear spread rapidly while whispers filled every corner of the camp. Tamar's world changed faster than she could understand completely. Soon, she would face a decision shocking all of Israel. Silence replaced the joyful music inside Tamar's home afterward. Fear now followed every whisper moving through Judah's grieving household. Judah feared darkness was hanging over his entire family now. Instead of comforting Tamar, he pushed her deeper into loneliness. Another son was chosen to marry Tamar according to custom, but selfishness and hidden darkness still lived inside Judah's household. Tamar hoped this second marriage would finally bring peace someday. Instead, sorrow inside the household only continued growing deeper. Outside, people still admired Judah's respected and powerful family name. Only Tamar understood the darkness hiding behind their reputation completely. Then tragedy struck Judah's family once again without warning suddenly. Fear consumed the household as another son unexpectedly died too. Now Judah himself became terrified of Tamar's presence completely. In fear, he blamed her for destroying his family forever. Judah ordered Tamar back to her father's lonely house immediately. She obeyed quietly while her remaining hope slowly faded away. Months passed, then years, while Tamar waited faithfully alone there. Meanwhile, Judah quietly ignored the promise he once made her. The young woman once dreaming about family now carried silence only. Her nights became filled with disappointment, loneliness, and unanswered prayers. Meanwhile, Judah continued enjoying feasts, business, and public celebrations normally. The lonely woman he abandoned slowly disappeared from his thoughts completely. Then one day, Tamar heard shocking news from nearby travelers suddenly. Judah himself would soon pass close beside the place she lived. For the first time in years, something awakened inside Tamar finally. The quiet woman suffering silently began forming a dangerous plan instead. Tamar understood perfectly how dangerous her decision truly was now. If her plan failed, shame could destroy her life forever. Judah traveled confidently beneath the dark skies without understanding anything. Ahead in the darkness, Tamar silently waited beside the lonely road. Heavy veils completely hid Tamar's identity from passing travelers nearby. Nobody recognized the broken woman hiding beneath the disguise anymore. When Judah saw the mysterious veiled woman waiting there alone, temptation quietly overcame his wisdom, caution, and understanding completely.
Woman.
Judah never imagined the veiled stranger standing before him was Tamar. The darkness completely hid the truth from his eyes that night. That lonely night beside the road changed everything forever afterward.
The night brings its
Neither Judah nor Tamar fully understood the consequences waiting ahead.
The road is
Afterward, Judah disappeared back into the darkness with his servant silently. Meanwhile, Tamar remained beside the road carrying a dangerous secret, alone. The next morning, Tamar quietly removed the disguise forever inside. The dangerous plan was complete, but uncertainty still surrounded her. At first, life continued peacefully across Judah's household and villages normally. Judah never realized the truth hidden behind that mysterious night. Then whispers suddenly spread rapidly through every crowded village street again. Tamar was carrying a child, and people immediately judged her. Judah exploded with anger the moment he heard the shocking news. Without questions, he immediately demanded punishment against Tamar publicly. Tamar stood silently while accusations surrounded her from every direction completely. Yet hidden beneath her calm expression lived an unexpected truth. At the final moment, Tamar revealed Judah's personal belongings publicly there. The shocked crowd immediately realized something impossible had happened that night. The powerful man judging Tamar suddenly understood the terrible truth completely. Before the entire crowd, shame and realization filled Judah's face.
Can it be?
For the first time, Tamar was finally seen differently by people. No longer cursed, but deeply wronged by Judah's fearful actions instead. The forgotten woman abandoned beside lonely roads would shape history someday. Her bloodline would continue through generations remembered forever afterward. Months quietly passed after the shocking night revealing Tamar's truth publicly. Inside her home, new life slowly began growing peacefully now. The same villagers once whispering against Tamar now watched respectfully instead. Everywhere she walked, quiet curiosity followed closely behind her footsteps. Judah could no longer escape the guilt haunting him every day. Whenever he saw Tamar, regret filled his thoughts completely again. But Tamar no longer lived trapped beneath fear and rejection anymore. Every hardship she survived slowly transformed her into someone stronger. As seasons changed, Tamar prepared herself for childbirth, patiently and quietly. Meanwhile, the household waited anxiously for the approaching night ahead. The night Tamar gave birth, tension filled every room inside completely. Even the wind outside seemed frozen beneath the stormy skies. After hours of suffering, Tamar finally gave birth to twin sons. Those children would change Judah's bloodline forever through future generations. One child reached outward first, confusing everyone inside the room immediately. The strange birth filled the women watching with shock and wonder. Then something completely unexpected suddenly happened inside the lantern-lit room there. The marked child disappeared back while another emerged first instead. The unexpected firstborn child received the name Perez that night afterward. One day, his name would echo through countless future generations. Years slowly passed, and Tamar's painful memories began fading quietly away. Israel continued growing while the history slowly moved forward beyond her suffering. Few people understood the importance hidden within Tamar's sons completely then. Her pain, loneliness, and courage would shape future generations forever. Generations rose and fell long after Tamar's story quietly ended completely. Kingdoms appeared, wars spread, and mighty rulers shaped Israel's future. Yet hidden inside those generations remained Tamar's impossible bloodline forever there. Her story quietly continued through the future of Israel itself. The forgotten woman abandoned beside lonely roads became part of royalty. History would eventually remember Tamar within one of Israel's greatest lineages. Long after Tamar's lifetime, Israel remembered powerful kings and rulers everywhere. But hidden beneath their bloodline remained Tamar's forgotten story. Hidden beneath generations of kings remained Tamar's lasting legacy forever there. The woman nobody expected history remembering could never be erased again. Those judging Tamar never imagined her story surviving beyond their own lives. Meanwhile, their names slowly disappeared into forgotten history. Tamar's life carried sorrow, fear, silence, and painful, difficult choices constantly. Yet every painful moment quietly moved her toward greater purpose instead. Though Israel once saw Tamar as forgotten and abandoned completely forever, heaven had quietly written her story into history. Years continued passing quietly across the land of Israel afterward. Children became parents while Tamar's story slowly faded from memory. Yet Perez's bloodline quietly continued growing stronger through generations afterward. Hidden family roots stretched deeper across Israel's future with time. Long after Tamar's suffering ended, Israel entered seasons of war and kingship. New rulers, armies, and cities began shaping the nation's future forever. Among those generations rose a shepherd boy named David one day. His story would echo across nations far beyond Israel itself. Few people realized Tamar's hidden connection to King David's bloodline completely. Her impossible journey quietly lived beneath Israel's future royal family. The lonely woman abandoned beside the road became part of royalty. Without realizing it, Tamar helped shape Israel's greatest royal legacy. Yet Tamar's story was never truly about power or kings entirely. It was about surviving pain nobody else could fully understand. Israel remembered kings, battles, victories, and mighty rulers across generations constantly. But heaven also remembered Tamar's silent tears beneath the darkness. Generations after David, Israel slowly drifted into fear and division again. Darkness quietly spread across the kingdom beneath gathering storm clouds. Kings proudly ruled from massive thrones surrounded by wealth and power everywhere. Many forgot the suffering and humility shaping their bloodline long before. But heaven never forgot Tamar's story or her hidden legacy completely. Her name remained woven quietly into Israel's future through generations. Many years later, storytellers across Israel still whispered Tamar's name quietly. Her story survived through generations, speaking about Judah's family line forever. Some remembered Tamar only for scandal and public shame throughout history. Others remembered the courage carrying her through impossible suffering and loneliness. No matter how people remembered Tamar, history could never erase her. Her place within Israel's future remained permanently written forever afterward. The woman, believing her future destroyed, became part of something far greater. Through betrayal, fear, loneliness, and painful memories, Tamar kept moving forward faithfully. Every hardship carried her closer toward heaven's hidden purpose for her. Though the world once saw Tamar as forgotten and abandoned forever, her story continued shining quietly through generations long after her life ended. Jerusalem slept beneath stormy midnight skies. Darkness quietly approached the holy city through surrounding hills. Gethsemane rested beneath ancient olive trees. Cold moonlight covered the silent garden outside Jerusalem. Danger moved silently beyond Jerusalem's distant hills. Fear slowly approached the sleeping city through darkness. Temple guards prepared swords beside flickering torchlight. Whispers spread quickly through Jerusalem's narrow streets. Jesus walked quietly toward Gethsemane beneath storm clouds. The disciples followed through darkness surrounding Jerusalem. The disciples noticed nothing unusual that evening. History's darkest moment quietly approached through darkness. Jesus entered Gethsemane beneath heavy storm clouds. Silence surrounded ancient olive trees moving in cold wind. Cold wind moved through twisted olive branches. Darkness settled across Jerusalem's silent hills surrounding Gethsemane. Jesus asked his disciples to remain awake. Then he walked deeper alone into surrounding darkness. Jesus knelt praying upon rocky ground beneath storm clouds. Deep sorrow overwhelmed him throughout the silent garden. The disciples struggled against growing exhaustion beneath olive trees. Sleep slowly overtook them inside the silent garden. Judas hurried through Jerusalem carrying betrayal within darkness. Armed soldiers followed closely beside burning torchlight. Torchlights slowly appeared beyond Gethsemane's distant rocky hills. The silent garden remained completely still beneath storm clouds. Jesus returned, finding his disciples sleeping once again. Danger quietly approached through darkness surrounding the ancient garden. Marching footsteps echoed across rocky hills surrounding Gethsemane. The heavy night air suddenly felt colder beneath storm clouds. Judas appeared beside armed soldiers carrying bright torches. Gethsemane's silence shattered throughout the surrounding darkness. The disciples awoke, hearing approaching soldiers within darkness. Fear spread quickly throughout the silent garden beneath storm clouds. Burning torches entered Gethsemane's olive trees beneath darkness. Armed soldiers surrounded the silent garden beside frightened disciples. Judas stepped forward through flickering torchlight toward Jesus. The disciples watched silently in confusion and growing fear. Judas stepped beside the armed soldiers beneath torchlight. He revealed which man they should arrest that night. Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss beneath moonlight. Silence briefly settled across Gethsemane beneath storm clouds. Soldiers rushed forward suddenly through the silent garden. Fear spread quickly among terrified disciples beneath storm clouds. Peter suddenly drew his sword during violent chaos. Terrified soldiers stepped backward beneath flickering torchlight. Jesus immediately stopped the violence surrounding everyone there. Fear and confusion filled soldiers and frightened disciples. Jesus remained completely calm among frightened surrounding crowds. Soldiers and disciples slowly panicked beneath gathering darkness. Roman soldiers grabbed Jesus tightly beneath flickering torchlight. Frightened disciples stood frozen beneath cold, moving winds. Fear overwhelmed the disciples completely throughout Gethsemane. They fled into darkness surrounding Jerusalem's rocky hills. Jesus stood alone among surrounding Roman soldiers beneath darkness. The silent garden slowly emptied beneath violent storm clouds. Soldiers led Jesus away from Gethsemane, but distant Jerusalem glowed faintly ahead beyond rocky hills. Peter quietly followed behind the crowd beneath darkness. Fear and regret slowly filled his heart completely. Before sunrise, soldiers brought Jesus into Jerusalem beneath darkness. The silent city awaited trials beginning before dawn. Cold Jerusalem streets remained silent before sunrise arrived. Soldiers escorted Jesus beneath flickering torchlight through darkness. Religious leaders gathered inside crowded palace courts before sunrise. Whispers and accusations filled dark chambers surrounding Jesus. Jesus stood silently before furious religious leaders during trial. Angry voices demanded judgment inside crowded torchlit chambers. False witnesses stepped forward repeatedly throughout the crowded palace. Confusion and anger slowly filled halls.
He is guilty. What is happening? This cannot
Peter waited nervously beside courtyard guards before sunrise arrived. Cold winds swept through Jerusalem's empty, silent streets. People inside the courtyard slowly recognized Peter standing nearby. Growing suspicion spread quickly throughout crowds surrounding the palace. Fear overtook Peter beside flickering courtyard firelight completely.
I swear.
He denied knowing Jesus beneath distant thunder overhead. Religious leaders grew increasingly furious throughout Jesus' silent trial. Crowded palace chambers filled with accusations and hatred. Peter denied Jesus once again beside the courtyard fire. Fear and regret slowly consumed him through darkness. Before dawn arrived, Peter denied Jesus once again. Silence suddenly filled the cold courtyard surrounding him. Peter suddenly remembered Jesus' warning spoken earlier that evening. Overwhelmed with sorrow, Peter rushed away through surrounding darkness. Guilt and heartbreak consumed Jerusalem's empty, silent streets. Jesus was brought before the Roman governor after sunrise. Crowds slowly gathered outside palace gates beneath storm clouds. Roman soldiers watched carefully outside crowded palace gates. Angry religious leaders demanded judgment beneath dark, stormy skies. Jesus finally stood before Pontius Pilate inside the palace. All Jerusalem waited anxiously to see what happened next. Pilate questioned Jesus carefully before the crowded palace court. Angry religious leaders demanded punishment, while fearful crowds watched silently outside. Despite accusations surrounding him during trial, Jesus remained completely calm. Confusion slowly grew across Pilate's face beneath towering palace shadows. Outside the palace gates, massive crowds gathered beneath darkening skies. Jerusalem slowly awakened while tension spread rapidly through crowded stone streets everywhere. Pilate found no crime deserving punishment within Jesus during trial. Religious leaders continued pushing crowds toward anger and chaos outside. Jesus stood next to Barabbas, a dangerous criminal. Pilate offered crowds a choice before the crowded palace court publicly. The crowds suddenly chose Barabbas instead of Jesus before Pilate publicly. Furious voices demanded death throughout Jerusalem's crowded streets. Pilate watched chaos spreading throughout the palace courts, completely helplessly afterward. Fear and pressure slowly consumed everyone surrounding the violent trial before Jerusalem. Pilate finally ordered Roman soldiers to brutally scourge Jesus publicly afterward. Darkness gathered heavily above Jerusalem beyond the towering palace walls. Inside palace chambers, Roman soldiers mocked Jesus throughout the violent night. Cruelty and hatred filled the dark Roman halls. Roman guards mockingly lifted a rough thorn wreath before Jesus publicly. Cruel laughter echoed throughout the dim palace chamber. A purple robe was thrown across Jesus' shoulders mockingly before crowds. Roman soldiers laughed loudly. Outside the palace, crowds grew louder beneath gathering storm clouds overhead tonight. Anger and hatred spread rapidly throughout Jerusalem's crowded stone streets filled with chaos. Pilate presented Jesus before the crowds once again beneath storm clouds publicly. He hoped the people would finally show mercy instead of demanding death afterward. The crowds demanded crucifixion throughout the palace courts beneath storm clouds loudly. Realizing crowds would never stop demanding death, Pilate finally surrendered publicly. Darkness slowly gathered above Jerusalem and surrounding hills. Roman soldiers forced the heavy cross onto Jesus. Crowds shouted loudly throughout Jerusalem's crowded stone streets. The painful march toward Golgotha finally began publicly. Thousands watched silently beside Jerusalem's narrow, crowded streets. Some people wept, while others mocked Jesus cruelly. The heavy cross scraped across ancient stone roads loudly. Exhaustion slowly overwhelmed Jesus beneath the crushing cross. Roman soldiers forced him farther uphill toward Golgotha. The sky above Jerusalem grew darker during procession. Fear spread quickly among crowds watching Jesus struggle forward. Roman soldiers finally reached the hill called Golgotha. Execution crosses stood above frightened crowds gathering below silently. Roman soldiers removed the purple robe from Jesus. Cold winds swept violently across Golgotha's rocky hilltop afterward. The soldiers laid Jesus upon the wooden cross. Silence slowly spread across terrified crowds surrounding Golgotha afterward. Heavy hammering echoed across Golgotha during the execution. Many crowds lowered their heads in sorrow afterward silently. Grieving followers watched helplessly beside the cross afterward silently. Roman soldiers continued mocking Jesus before gathered crowds nearby. Even through suffering, Jesus looked toward grieving crowds compassionately. Sorrow slowly covered the hills surrounding Golgotha. Unnatural darkness slowly spread across Jerusalem during crucifixion afterward. Fear consumed crowds beneath the terrifying darkened heavens above. The earth trembled violently beneath terrified crowds on Golgotha. Silence and fear consumed everyone standing beside the crosses. Jesus cried out loudly beneath the darkened heavens above. All creation seemed to stop throughout silent Jerusalem afterward. Winds swept across Jerusalem beneath supernatural darkness afterward. The heavens above Golgotha seemed filled with judgment and sorrow. Jesus spoke his final words upon the cross publicly. Silence slowly overtook terrified crowds listening beneath the darkness. Jesus bowed his head and gave up his spirit. Darkness consumed the skies above Jerusalem immediately afterward. The earth suddenly shook violently beneath terrified Jerusalem crowds afterward. Massive rocks split apart across Golgotha and surrounding hills. Inside the temple, the great curtain suddenly tore apart. Fear spread rapidly among priests within the holy courts. Terrified crowds fled through Jerusalem's shaking streets beneath darkness. Storms and earthquakes consumed the city throughout the terrifying afternoon. A Roman centurion stared upward beside the cross afterward. Fear-filled soldiers standing beneath Golgotha, watching the darkness. Roman soldiers slowly approached the crosses before evening finally arrived. Silence spread across Golgotha, while frightened crowds watched quietly afterward. One Roman soldier lifted a long spear beside Jesus. Uneasy silence settled heavily across the hills. Many realized something greater than execution happened that day. Shocked crowds stared silently toward Golgotha beneath fading darkness. As evening approached, Jerusalem's violent storm finally began fading. Sorrow still covered the city and surrounding hills afterward. The followers of Jesus remained overwhelmed with grief afterward. Heartbreak filled the cold evening air surrounding Golgotha. Silently, though the storm faded, the sacrifice changed history forever. Moonlight slowly returned above quiet Jerusalem and distant Golgotha. What if I told you that in the presence of the apostles, one lie could bring instant judgment? Ananias and Sapphira wanted to appear generous before the church. They kept back part of the money, smiling as they laid the rest at the apostles' feet. But with a snap of a finger, he died. A moment of deception that shook the entire early church with holy fear.
This is Jerusalem, where the early church of believers gathers in unity after the Holy Spirit came.
The Holy Spirit came like fire, everything changed.
Yes, the Spirit's fire is among us.
We must share this good news. Signs and wonders are happening among us through the power of the risen Jesus.
We hold all things in common. No one is in want.
The apostles ruled the church with the Holy Spirit, but Rome still watches.
Let me help with that. Thank you, brother.
United in faith, we are strong.
Look at how generously they give everything they own. Sapphira, perhaps we should sell our field too and support the church like this.
Yes, let us sell the land outside the city walls. We can give most of the money and keep a portion quietly for ourselves.
Yes, quietly for ourselves. Once the money is in our hands, we will decide exactly how much to keep back. No one needs to know the full amount.
We have sold the land for a good price. Let us keep this portion hidden and bring only the rest to the apostles. I will take only this amount now and lay it at their feet as if it is the full price. They will never suspect anything. This will appear generous to everyone. The church will welcome our gift without question. Here is the full price from the sale of our land. I lay it at your feet for the needs of the church.
We wanted to give everything we could to support the work of the Lord among us.
It is the complete amount from the land sale, as we agreed together.
We have given freely and honestly from our hearts for the church.
Ananias, did you keep part of the money? This is the full offering. We kept nothing back. The Spirit has shown me the truth. I swear, Peter, it is all there. We have done our part for the Lord and the church with this gift. Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and keep back part of the money from the land?
The land was yours to keep or sell as you wished. You have not lied to men but to God.
I only wanted to help the church. Ah, my chest. I can't breathe.
What's happening to him?
He is gone. Let us carry him out with respect. We will bury him beside the others. May the Lord have mercy.
Great fear came upon the whole church. What have we seen today?
It is finished. He lies buried.
This is a solemn warning to us all.
Sapphira, she does not yet know what has happened to her husband.
The Lord has shown us today that He will not be mocked.
No one will dare to lie to the Holy Spirit after today.
Let this be a lesson that God knows every heart.
Sapphira will be here soon. She still believes her husband is alive. The judgment is sealed. She comes unaware.
I wonder how Ananias is doing. He should have returned by now. I have come to join my husband. Where is Ananias?
Tell me, Sapphira, was the price you and your husband received for the land this amount?
Yes, that was the full price we received for the land.
How could you agree to test the Spirit of the Lord? How could you agree to test the Spirit of the Lord?
That was truly the full amount we sold the land for. That was truly the full amount we sold the land for.
Look, the men who buried your husband are at the door. They will carry you out too.
She is gone as well. Let us carry her out. She will lie next to Ananias. The Lord has judged both.
The fear of the Lord has come upon us all.
It is done. Both are now buried side by side.
The Lord has shown us clearly that He knows every heart.
The story is spreading. Ananias and Sapphira lied to the Holy Spirit and paid with their lives.
Everyone who hears it trembles. The Lord will not be mocked. The fear of God is spreading through the church.
The fear remains. We must walk carefully before God today.
Let us continue in the teaching of the apostles with honesty and fear of the Lord. We share everything with clean hands now. No one dares to hide anything. The church grows in unity and purity. The great fear keeps every heart honest and open before God. The whole city is talking about it. God's power is real here. Ananias and Sapphira, they were struck down. God's power is real.
In the name of Jesus, rise and walk. The Lord has healed him.
The apostles prayed, and I can walk again. The Lord is truly among us.
The Lord healed me. But I will never forget what happened to Ananias and Sapphira.
The church continues to grow daily. I want to be part of this church that fears the Lord. Welcome, brother. We are all one in faith. Lord, keep this holy fear in our hearts forever. The church continues to grow daily in numbers and in the holy fear of the Lord, as the sun climbs higher over Jerusalem. The fear that began with Ananias and Sapphira now guards the purity of the church.
We give with open and honest hearts now. The lesson remains with us. The Lord heals us, and the fear of Him keeps us clean before His eyes.
We give openly and honestly. The lesson of Ananias and Sapphira remains alive in us. In the name of Jesus Christ, rise up and walk. I can walk. Praise be to God. A miracle. God be praised. This is by the power of Jesus. Walk in purity and fear of the Lord.
The Lord has shown His power.
Praise God! His power is great!
Even we have heard what happened, that God is not to be taken lightly.
If this video touched your heart, please like the video and subscribe to my channel to see more exciting videos.
This is the church that fears God. Join us and walk in truth. We share everything in unity and generosity. This is our holy community.
What happened to that couple has changed everything. God is truly in their midst.
We rejoice in the Lord!
We will never forget Ananias and Sapphira. Their story keeps us pure. Amen. Holy fear protects us.
Thank you, Lord, for the lesson of Ananias and Sapphira. May we never forget. And great fear came upon the whole church, and they walked in the fear of the Lord from that day forward.
In a time of war and desperation, a terrified king turns to the forbidden. He summons the dead prophet from the grave and hears a message of doom.
Tomorrow you and your sons will die.
The town is waking up.
The king will need fresh water. King Saul likes it cold in the morning.
Good morning to you.
The king is already awake. The morning is peaceful.
A fine day for our people.
Good morning, my king. Good morning. The city looks lively today.
Keep watch over the city. Everything seems well.
Fresh figs for the king. He always enjoys them in the morning.
Thank you. May today be a good day for all of us.
Everything seemed peaceful in Israel. People lived their daily lives under King Saul until one day, a scout saw something terrifying on the horizon.
King Saul must see this threat.
Our towns feel the fear now. King Saul rules Israel, yet danger grows.
King Saul leads us. But the enemy is too close.
This city is truly...
King, the Philistines are upon us!
What? How near are they?
They will breach the gates at dawn!
The Lord no longer answers me. Prophets, dreams, priests, all silent.
I am abandoned by God. The Philistines will destroy us. We tried every way, my king. No answer from the Lord. God has left me. Fear fills my heart.
I ruled with strength once. Now only silence remains.
There is one last hope. The woman at Endor.
In signs of trouble, the king realized that there was one woman that could save them. The witch of the town, Endor.
The journey feels cursed. We press on.
Endor is dangerous, my king. We must stay hidden.
There, Endor. Knock softly. We seek Samuel.
Who seeks me at this hour?
Saul trusted the old prophet Samuel,
king banned
hoping he
all
could reveal what
mediums.
tomorrow's battle would bring.
Fear not, woman.
Bring up Samuel for me. I must know tomorrow's battle.
The king forbids this. You lay a snare for my life.
I swear you will be safe. Bring up Samuel now.
Come inside quickly. This is dangerous for us all.
Call up the prophet Samuel.
It shall be done, my lord.
The spirits are restless tonight. I must hear his words.
The dead do not always bring peace. Stay silent until he appears.
Do it now. The battle is tomorrow.
The veil thins. Samuel rises.
feel the cold. Something comes.
A god rises from the earth! It is Samuel!
Describe him. Is it truly Samuel?
An old man in a mantle. His eyes burn with judgment.
It is Samuel.
My lord, the spirits gather!
Now I will hear his words.
He rises. It is Samuel. His eyes burn with anger.
Samuel, speak to me. Tell me what will happen tomorrow.
Why have you disturbed me? Why bring me up from the dead?
The Philistines attack tomorrow. God no longer answers me.
The Lord has turned from you. He has given your kingdom to David.
What about the battle? The battle is lost.
What will happen to me? Tomorrow you and your sons will die. Israel will fall to the Philistines.
No, it cannot be. My sons? All of them?
My lord, you are Saul. I did not know.
Give me food. I have no strength.
Here, let me help you sit up.
Tomorrow we all die.
Eat, my lord. Regain your strength.
All is lost. God has rejected me.
The night is almost over. You must leave before dawn.
The prophecy is clear. By tomorrow, we are dead.
The kingdom goes to David. My life ends tomorrow. David will take my throne. My sons die with me.
My lord, we must return.
The army waits for you. God has rejected me. Everything ends tomorrow.
We must reach camp before sunrise. Your men need their king.
Tell no one what happened. Keep this night secret.
I swear it, my lord. No one will know.
The king rode back to Israel carrying a secret that haunted him. Tomorrow would be his last day alive.
The king returns. He looks broken. Stand at attention. He didn't even look at us.
The king is weary. We must be vigilant.
Tomorrow we fight. Tomorrow we die. Drink, my lord. Rest before the battle.
David will be king. My line ends here.
Tell my sons to fight bravely. They will die with honor.
This is the end. God has spoken.
Wake me when the horns sound. Tomorrow, we meet our fate.
The battle begins! Philistines attack Mount Gilboa! To arms, defend the kingdom! Today, we fight. Today, we die. To the front lines! Stay close to me.
The Philistines are stronger. They outnumber us.
Fight with courage. Yes, King Saul! God has already decided our fate.
Father, they break through! Hold the line! We can hold them! Fight on! For our homeland! Push them back!
Ah, an arrow! No, hold on! Jonathan, no! My son! Jonathan, no! My son! No, not you, stay with me! You will pay for this! Ah, curse you! I am Hittet.
My king, we must retreat.
The battle is lost.
I will not be captured. End this for me.
I cannot kill my king. Forgive me.
Then I will do it myself.
Israel's first king dies today.
Lord, forgive me. It ends here. My king falls. Israel falls with him.
The king of Israel is dead! Saul has fallen! Strip the king's armor! Send it to our temples! His kingdom is finished.
Saul! And all his sons are dead! Run for your lives!
Our king is gone. Israel has fallen.
All three sons died with him.
Jonathan is gone too.
The king chose death over capture. His story ends in shame.
The Lord's word came true. David will be the new king.
Our king is dead. Our sons are dead.
Everything we knew is gone. Only David remains.
Saul began as a tall and mighty king. He ended broken and alone on Mount Gilboa.
The king I once served is dead. Now the throne is mine.
Fear destroyed Israel's first king. Obedience will build the next.
world where everything was decided by birth order, one man refused to accept the place he was given. He was not the strongest, not the favorite, not the one anyone expected to change anything at all. His name was Jacob. He tricked his blind father, stole his brother's future, and ran into the desert with nothing but the clothes on his back. But the road ahead was not a reward. It was 20 years of hard work, betrayal, and pain that slowly broke him down. This is the story of a man who grabbed everything he wanted and lost himself completely.
Canaan was powerful and ancient, and at its center, a patriarch named Isaac was slowly fading. Isaac had 2 sons. The younger, Jacob, spent his days quietly watching while everyone else made noise. The older son, Esau, was a hunter, dominant, and certain the entire future belonged to him. Their mother, Rebekah, saw both sons differently. Esau had power. Jacob had something harder to name. Esau hunted since sunrise. By the time he smelled Jacob's stew, his judgment was already gone. When Esau stumbled in, desperate and hollow, Jacob made an offer no reasonable man should have accepted. The birthright was the eldest son's sacred inheritance, land, authority, everything. Esau looked at the stew and chose it. He swore it away with a full mouth and an empty conscience. Jacob said nothing. He didn't need to. Years passed. Isaac's eyes darkened completely. The blessing, the most powerful thing he had left, needed to be given before he died. Isaac called Esau and gave him one task: hunt, cook, return. Then the blessing would be his.
Rebekah was listening outside the tent. The moment Esau disappeared toward the wilderness, she was already moving. She found Jacob and told him plainly, the blessing was hours away from leaving the family forever. Jacob's fear wasn't guilt, it was calculation. If Isaac touched his smooth skin, the plan would collapse into a curse. Rebekah had already thought of that. Animal skins, Esau's clothes, pressed into Jacob's hands. Jacob walked toward his father's tent, dressed as his brother, crossing a line he could never walk back across. Isaac heard the footsteps and frowned. Esau had just left, so who was standing at his entrance now?
I am Esau, your firstborn.
Jacob presented the food and spoke as Esau, holding his breath, hoping a blind man's ears wouldn't betray him.
The voice sounds like Jacob.
Isaac grabbed his arm. Fingers moved slowly over the fur. The voice sounded like Jacob, but the hands felt like Esau. Then Isaac leaned forward and smelled the clothes. The wilderness was on them, and the old man believed it. Isaac raised trembling hands and spoke the blessing. At that exact moment, Esau was walking home with the meal he never needed.
Jacob slipped out just before Esau arrived. The 2 brothers may have passed within earshot without knowing. Esau entered proudly, presented the food. Then Isaac's voice went quiet in a way Esau had never heard before. Someone had already come. The blessing was already given. Under ancient law, it could not be taken back. Esau made a sound the tent had never heard, the kind of pain that comes before a man understands what he has lost. He begged for anything, a second blessing, a smaller one. Isaac gave what little remained. Both knew it wasn't the same.
Stay here tonight.
Then grief
Your
turned.
brother's anger is burning
Esau
hot,
began asking
and I
where
fear what
Jacob
he may
was,
do when darkness covers
not out
the
of
camp.
love. He was planning to wait until their father died.
Word reached Rebekah before Esau could act. She had saved Jacob once already. Now she needed to keep him alive. She told him plainly, Your brother wants to kill you. Go to my brother Laban and disappear until this passes." Jacob gathered almost nothing. No ceremony, no crowd. He walked out of his father's camp completely alone. He had won the birthright, the blessing, the future, and he was running through the dark with nothing but the clothes on his back.
Jacob stopped when his legs gave out and used a stone for a pillow. There was nothing poetic about it. He was exhausted. Then he dreamed. A ladder stretched from the ground all the way into heaven, and angels were moving up and down it like it was an ordinary road. At the top of the ladder stood God, who spoke directly to Jacob and repeated the same promise given to Abraham and Isaac before him. Jacob woke up, and his fear had changed shape. He was not less afraid, but now the fear had something standing next to it. He took the stone he had slept on, poured oil over it, and named the place Bethel, which means the house of God. Then he made a conditional promise back to God. "If you protect me, feed me, and bring me home safely, then you will be my God." Jacob continued east toward the land of his uncle Laban, the brother of Rebekah. Jacob arrived at a well outside the city. Then a young woman appeared, walking toward the well, carrying nothing but confidence. He asked the shepherds if they knew Laban, and they said yes.
He rolled the stone from the well himself, watered her flock, introduced himself as her cousin.
Now Rebekah's son has
Rachel
come to us,
ran.
and he is
She didn't
waiting at the
walk.
well.
She didn't hesitate. The moment she heard the name Rebekah, her feet made the decision for her. Laban came rushing out with open arms. Jacob didn't know yet that those same arms would one day hold him like a trap. Jacob sat in Laban's courtyard that night and told enough of his story to explain why he arrived alone, with nothing, and afraid. He began working among Laban's animals, repairing fences, carrying water, and every time Rachel passed through the fields, the labor felt lighter. Laban asked what he wanted as wages. Jacob looked toward Rachel and offered the only thing he had: 7 years of his life.
7 years sounds long.
He worked through burning summers and cold nights. The Bible says those 7 years felt like days.
I came here with fear behind me and nothing in my hands.
The feast is ready, Jacob.
But Laban had a plan moving inside the darkness. He guided a veiled woman into the tent, and Jacob never thought to question it. Morning came. The veil fell. It was Leah. Jacob had spent his wedding night beside the wrong woman. He stormed across the courtyard toward Laban, furious and shaking. Then Laban spoke calmly, and Jacob heard his own story being told back to him. The older must come before the younger. Laban said it plainly, like a rule, not a wound. Jacob had no argument left. He knew exactly what that meant. 7 more years. Jacob accepted. He had deceived his father using darkness and clothing. Now darkness and clothing had been used on him. His household grew, tents multiplied, children were born. But joy and jealousy lived under the same roof.
I hear their voices changing. Yesterday they called me family, but today they look at my flocks as if I stole their future. Return to the land of your fathers and to your family, Jacob. I have seen what Laban has done, and I will be with you.
Your father's face has changed toward me, and God has told me to return home. If we wait too long, Laban may close every road. Move softly and keep the animals close. By the time Laban hears the empty tents, we must already be beyond his reach.
First I ran from Esau, now Laban rides behind me. How many times must my life become a road with anger chasing my back?
We went to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you with 400 men.
400 men do not travel for a quiet greeting. The sin I ran from has found the road before me.
Separate the people and animals into groups. If Esau strikes one side, the other side may still have time to run. Go ahead of me with these gifts. And when Esau asks who they belong to, tell him they are from his servant Jacob.
Go across the river before me. If tomorrow brings danger, then let the ones I love stand farther from the first blow.
God of my fathers, I crossed this land with only my staff, and now I return with a family, but I am afraid of my brother. Who is there in the darkness? Show yourself. I have no more strength left for another enemy tonight. I have run from my brother, served another man, and lost peace in my own heart. I will not fall without knowing why you came.
My arms are failing, my breath is breaking, but I cannot let go. Not when the morning may bring Esau in judgment.
No, I have let too much slip through my hands already. I will not release you into the morning empty.
Let go.
I will not let you go unless you bless me. I stole words once, but now I beg for a blessing with nothing hidden in my hands.
What is your name?
Jacob.
Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and you have endured.
I saw God face to face, and my life was spared. I crossed this river as Jacob, but I rise from it as Israel.
The night changed my name, but the morning has brought Esau. Now I must face the wound I made with my own hands.
Every step hurts, but I will not hide behind my family. I wronged my brother, and I must be the first one he sees.
My brother, years of anger have already stolen enough from us. I came to see your face, not to bury it.
I crossed this land afraid of your face, Esau. But seeing you forgive me feels like seeing mercy walk toward me.
Father looks at Joseph as if the rest of us are shadows. One day that favorite smile will divide this whole house.
Joseph, my son, take this robe not because cloth makes a man great, but because my heart rejoices whenever I see you near me.
In my dream, we were binding bundles in the field, and my bundle stood upright, while yours gathered around and bowed down to it.
He thinks he's better than us. We won't bow.
Look, the dreamer is coming, far from father, far from help, wearing that robe like a banner over our anger.
Take the robe back to father. Let him decide what happened, and let silence do what our mouths cannot say. We found this robe in the field. Please look carefully and tell us whether it belongs to your son. It is my son's robe.
This is Joseph's robe! My son is gone. I will go down mourning, because the light of my old age has been taken from me.
Go to Egypt and buy grain, or hunger will finish what grief already began. But do not ask my heart to lose another son.
Father, Joseph is alive, and he has sent these wagons to bring you to him.
Joseph alive?
Now let me die in peace, because I have seen your face again. The son I mourned has been alive in the hands of God.
After years of war, the victorious king stands restless on his palace balcony as a storm gathers over Jerusalem. Morning returns to Jerusalem, but victory feels empty for the king. His armies keep winning, yet he grows more troubled each day. Inside the palace, David removes his royal robe and stares into the distance. Victory should not feel this empty, he says. Unable to sleep, he paces the cold rooftop, looking down at the sleeping city. Why does peace feel heavier than war? From the rooftop,
is that
he
woman
notices
down there?
Bathsheba bathing in a quiet courtyard below. In that moment, forbidden desire takes hold of him. He learns her name, Bathsheba, wife of his loyal soldier Uriah.
Bathsheba.
Even knowing the
She is the
truth,
wife of
his
Uriah.
obsession only grows stronger. As rain falls, he wrestles with his thoughts while Bathsheba sits unaware in her home.
Why would the
Royal
king call for me
messengers
at this
summon
hour?
Bathsheba to the palace on a stormy night. She steps into the rain, heart heavy with uncertainty. David stood alone in the quiet chamber as the servants left the room. He looked into the fire and said, "Leave us alone tonight." Bathsheba walked slowly through the long palace hallway, her steps echoing loudly. She felt nervous as she moved closer to the king's private chamber. David turned around when Bathsheba entered the room lit by the fire. He spoke gently to her. "You don't need to be afraid here." Morning light came into the palace while servants cleaned the floors. Bathsheba walked down the stairs alone, still thinking about the night before. Far away from the city, Uriah marched through the hills with his tired soldiers. He looked toward Jerusalem, not knowing what the king had done. In the dark war room, David opened the battle map with steady hands. He pointed at the most dangerous area and ordered, "Send Uriah there." Uriah came back to Jerusalem and stood before King David. David gave him wine and told him to go home to his wife. But Uriah refused to go home to his house. He slept at the palace gate with the other soldiers instead. The battle was fierce, and Uriah fought at the front line. An arrow killed him exactly as the king had planned. Uriah was left completely broken in the battlefield after the arrow. He wanted to end it, but also wanted to go back to Bathsheba. A messenger arrived at the palace and told David the news. "Uriah the Hittite is dead," he said. David showed no sadness. Bathsheba heard that her husband was dead and mourned deeply. She cried for Uriah, never knowing the king had arranged his death.
What have I done?
David walked slowly through the dark, empty palace halls late at night. The torches flickered as he said quietly, "I used to hear music in these halls."
Everything changed.
Palace workers prepared a small chamber under the gray afternoon sky. Bathsheba entered, holding her cloak tightly, still carrying the child from the king. A servant ran quickly through the hallway, shouting for the healers. Bathsheba gripped the table in pain as the storm outside matched the fear inside her. David knelt beside the sick child with trembling hands and fear in his eyes. He prayed desperately, "Please God, don't let this end like this." Morning light slowly entered the chamber as the healer gave the sad news. "The child is gone," he said quietly while David and Bathsheba grieved together. Dark mourning cloth now hung across the palace walls.
The city keeps moving forward, even after heartbreak.
A king cannot live, buried inside yesterday forever.
Even the birds are ignoring palace rules now. Life is growing again inside these walls.
Quickly, prepare the chamber. The child is coming now.
Please, let this child live.
My king, your son lives.
His name will be Solomon.
Maybe God has not abandoned us after all.
This child will carry peace into Israel. One day, this child may rule all of this.
The child rules the palace already, and he can't even walk yet.
He brings such joy to us all.
Israel has never looked stronger than this.
Solomon!
Hush, my child. I'm here.
After everything, he's still here.
The winters feel colder every year, my king.
King is growing weak, and everyone knows what comes next.
The kingdom needs strength now, not weakness.
Adonijah takes the throne. Solomon may never live safely again.
Solomon, what have you heard?
Adonijah gathers allies in the night.
We must act. My lord, did you not promise that Solomon would become king?
Solomon will sit on my throne after me.
Wake the priests immediately! The king has spoken! Open the gates! Quick, light the lamps! To the council!
I never wanted the throne to begin like this.
Solomon has been crowned king! The king is crowned?
Long live King Solomon!
The kingdom is safe now. The Queen Mother's wisdom now guides the kingdom.
People now travel across deserts just to see Solomon's kingdom. Wisdom is a gift to be shared with all who seek it.
My son has built a kingdom of peace and prosperity.
Gold for the temple, make way!
So much sorrow began here, and yet God still brought peace.
Father built the kingdom with strength. Now we must build it with wisdom. A kingdom divided by pride will destroy itself from within.
People cross entire deserts just to stand inside Solomon's kingdom.
Your father carried this crown through war. Now you must carry it through peace.
It still feels like he should be sitting here.
Everything I know about strength, I learned from watching you survive.
This temple will outlive every one of us. It's magnificent.
We survived more than anyone will ever know.
Remember this well. Kingdoms built with wisdom last longer than kingdoms built with fear.
The storm is stronger than anything we've seen this year! Secure the palace! Protect the people! The shutters won't hold!
Jerusalem has survived far worse than wind and thunder.
Every storm eventually passes.
God brought peace from the ruins of our sorrow.
From sorrow came wisdom, from loss came peace, and from the ruins of the past a kingdom endured.
Imagine waking up one day and hearing a massive enemy army is coming. Across Judah, soldiers prepare for a battle they fear losing badly. King Jeroboam marches south with more soldiers than Judah can handle. But young King Abijah refuses giving up against impossible, overwhelming odds. Soon both armies will meet at Mount Zemaraim's deadly valley. Fear rises across Judah as a massive enemy army marches south. Jerusalem soon faces its greatest battle ever. Young King Abijah studies maps while danger quietly approaches Jerusalem. Jeroboam's army already marches toward Judah. A terrified advisor rushes toward Abijah carrying terrible battlefield news. War can no longer be avoided now. Jeroboam marches south with 800,000 heavily armed soldiers behind him. Judah faces impossible odds before battle begins. Judah's generals gather while Abijah studies battlefield maps carefully tonight. Jeroboam plans trapping Judah between ridges. Frightened soldiers prepare for battle before sunrise reaches Jerusalem fully. One young soldier fears his first battle. Jerusalem's giant gates open while Judah marches north behind Abijah today. Ahead waits Jeroboam's enormous deadly army. Judah enters rocky hills when scouts discover terrifying news ahead suddenly. Jeroboam already controls both surrounding ridges. High above the valley, Jeroboam watches trapped Judah below silently. He believes victory already belongs to Israel. Judah's soldiers finally notice enemies covering both ridges above them. The young soldier realizes escape disappeared completely. Fear spreads rapidly while Abijah calmly rides before Judah's soldiers today. He commands every man standing firm. Jeroboam orders thousands descending from ridges surrounding trapped Judah below. The trembling valley fills with footsteps. Israel's army closes inward while panic spreads through Judah's formation quickly. The young soldier nearly breaks down. Abijah climbs Mount Zemaraim alone while both armies watch silently. He declares God still fights beside Judah. Pointing toward priests below, Abijah reminds armies about God's covenant. Israel's soldiers begin hesitating nervously afterward. Watching Abijah confidently speaking, Jeroboam secretly changes battle plans immediately. Hidden reserves quietly surround Judah completely. Soldiers suddenly discover enemies appearing silently behind Judah's rear formation. Every trapped man realizes complete encirclement happened. Hearing Judah surrounded, Abijah raises both arms toward heaven above. An old priest raises Judah's bronze trumpet beneath dark evening skies. One blast echoes across trembling Zemaraim loudly. Soon every trumpet sounds while desperate cries violently shake Zemaraim.
Keep going, do not stop! Louder!
Without warning, panic explodes across Israel's ridges during battle suddenly. Jeroboam's perfect trap collapses completely afterward. Seeing Israel breaking apart, Abijah raises his sword toward Judah. The trapped army suddenly charges forward fearlessly. Across dark slopes, Israel's mighty army scatters while Judah surges forward.
We actually won!
The frightened young soldier finally charges fearlessly. Jeroboam flees downhill through darkness while his shattered army collapses completely. The king desperately runs from battle. Night settles over Zemaraim while exhausted soldiers realize Judah survived tonight. Abijah understands only God delivered them. Soldiers embrace, mourn, and pray beneath flickering torchlight after battle. The old priest remembers God's faithfulness. Morning rises over Zemaraim while Abijah studies maps beside generals. Judah prepares marching north toward cities. The men conquered Mount Zimraim and now march north toward Bethel. After surviving Jeroboam's trap, Abijah pushes deeper into enemy territory with Judah's victorious army. As Judah marches north, the young soldier no longer trembles fearfully anymore. Zimraim changed him forever after battle. Ephron finally appears ahead with soldiers lining the massive stone walls. Judah pushes through the city gates carefully. The streets are already empty. Abijah rides past Jeroboam's broken idol. The false god lies shattered in dust. Then a rider arrives from the east.
Their gates are already open. No fight. Then we go to Joshana.
Judah marches harder beneath the burning sun. Something about the empty gates feels wrong.
Send scouts first.
Scouts disappear into Joshana's shadows first. Moments later, they wave the army forward. Inside the city, panic still lingers everywhere. People fled only minutes before Judah arrived. Abijah studies the northern road in silence. One city remains, Ephron.
Half a day's march, maybe less.
The army moves faster now toward the final city. Even the frightened young soldier walks near the front. But Ephron is different.
They stayed. Ephron is defended. Defended.
Soldiers stand waiting along the walls. Abijah studies the defenders carefully from the ridge.
3 days. God does
One
not
mistake
waste a
could
victory.
bury thousands
All three,
below.
Just like that.
Inside Ephron, fear spreads through every
We thought
street.
Jeroboam would
The
come
people
back
can
for
already
us.
see Judah surrounding them. Abijah studies the map beside Ephron's well. Bethel, Joshana, Ephron, all lost. That night, tired soldiers rest beneath torchlight.
You finally stopped shaking.
The young soldier sits quietly beside the fire. He stares at his steady hand silently. Far away in Tirzah, Jeroboam explodes with rage. 3 cities gone before he could react. His commanders speak carefully around the map.
After Mount Zimraim,
Fear of Judah now spreads everywhere.
Judah's God fights for Abijah.
Jeroboam flips the war table onto the floor. Maps and markers scatter across the chamber.
Stop believing it!
Before dawn, Abijah walks Ephron's walls alone.
My king.
A nervous watchman nearly drops his spear. The king stares north into the darkness quietly. Jeroboam will return someday.
Come again someday. Men like him always do.
Then what
Below them, Ephron slowly wakes again. Fires rise while soldiers tighten armor straps. Late that night, Abijah overlooks thousands of campfires. Victory weighs heavier than battle itself. The old general joins him beside the wall. The men already call it a miracle.
The men are already calling this a miracle.
Meanwhile, Jeroboam stands alone in Tirzah's darkness. Bethel, Joshana, Ephron, gone forever. Then dawn rises peacefully over Ephron at last.
Hearing silence again.
For the first time, Judah hears silence again. Morning spreads across Ephron as Judah prepares to leave the conquered city behind. Soldiers pack supplies, extinguish fires, and begin the long march home through the hills. Then they hear it before seeing the city itself. Thousands of voices rise from beyond the hills welcoming Judah home. Jerusalem's walls appear beyond the final ridge while tired soldiers straighten proudly. Men who marched toward death now march toward cheering crowds.
They're back! Abijah's army is back!
Inside Jerusalem, celebration explodes through the crowded streets and marketplaces. Abijah rides through Jerusalem's gates while cheers thunder around the returning army. Flower petals drift through the air as crowds reach toward the soldiers. But not every family waits in celebration that evening. Along the smaller gate, grieving families gather beside the returning dead. That night, victory fires glow brightly across Jerusalem beneath the stars. Yet grief quietly sits beside celebration inside many homes. The young soldier finally reaches his family's doorway after days of war and marching. At the palace courtyard, priests gather beneath towering torches before the people. The old priest steps forward carrying the bronze trumpet from Zemaraim.
Babylon's armies surrounded Jerusalem beneath rising smoke and fire. Terrified families fled desperately while heaven's holy city collapsed overnight forever. Among broken captives walked a quiet boy named Daniel. Babylon never imagined this chained prisoner would someday challenge mighty kings. Golden gates opened beneath towering idols and endless crowded streets. Daniel entered Babylon feeling smaller than the terrifying empire surrounding him. Nebuchadnezzar ruled Babylon like a god above nations and rulers. His throne terrified servants, nobles, prisoners, and kingdoms across the earth. Daniel and his friends entered Babylon's royal academy together. Every lesson pushed faithful hearts deeper inside dangerous foreign darkness daily. Royal servants delivered rich food beside overflowing Babylonian wine nightly. Daniel feared dishonoring God far more than angering powerful kings himself. Daniel quietly pushed Babylon's royal food away from himself completely. 3 faithful friends chose obedience and courage instead of fear together. The palace officials feared Nebuchadnezzar's punishment more than anything greatly. Daniel calmly requested vegetables and water for 10 testing days instead. 10 difficult days passed quietly inside Babylon's glowing palace halls. Daniel appeared healthier and stronger than every royal student nearby afterward. Nebuchadnezzar admired wisdom flowing from Daniel and his companions greatly. Yet greater mysteries already moved silently toward Babylon's powerful palace walls. Nebuchadnezzar awoke trembling beneath violent storm-dark palace shadows late suddenly. The terrifying dream refused, leaving the frightened king peacefully afterward. The furious king demanded impossible answers from Babylon's wise men immediately tonight. Fear spread instantly across the empire after nobody answered successfully anymore. Babylon's guards stormed palace halls, searching desperately for frightened advisors everywhere. Every wise man suddenly faced death together beneath the furious kingdom. Daniel stepped courageously before Babylon's furious ruler, completely alone that night. Even faithful hearts sometimes fear becoming forgotten graves. Daniel and his friends fell desperately into prayer together that night. Heaven revealed visions of empires rising proudly before collapsing forever. A gigantic metallic statue towered beneath storm-dark heavens above the earth. Golden kingdoms gleamed proudly before destruction suddenly shattered their mighty power forever. A supernatural stone crashed violently into the towering metallic statue. Suddenly, great kingdoms instantly shattered like dust. Daniel entered Babylon's throne room surrounded by terrified advisors and guards. Everyone waited silently between life and death before the powerful king anxiously. Before Nebuchadnezzar spoke, Daniel revealed the hidden dream perfectly before everyone. Shock spread instantly across Babylon's silent court. Daniel explained kingdoms rising proudly before eventually collapsing into dust forever. Even mighty rulers remained beneath heaven's authority throughout every generation afterward. The heavenly stone would outlast every kingdom built by mankind forever. Unlike Babylon, God's eternal kingdom could never disappear from earth afterward. Nebuchadnezzar rose trembling before Daniel inside Babylon's glowing throne room silently. The mighty ruler bowed before the former Hebrew prisoner, completely astonished afterward. Daniel was honored above Babylon's rulers, advisors, and wise men, yet jealousy quietly began growing inside powerful hearts surrounding him. Years later, Nebuchadnezzar built a gigantic golden image across Babylon proudly. Every nation received commands to bow before the idol immediately afterward. Trumpets echoed loudly while thousands bowed before Babylon's golden image together. 3 young Hebrews remained standing silently among the kneeling crowds afterward. Nebuchadnezzar demanded the Hebrews bow before Babylon's blazing furnace angrily, yet the 3 faithful men refused fearlessly before the furious king completely. The Hebrews declared God could rescue them from Babylon's deadly flames completely. Even without rescue, they would never worship the empire's golden idol forever. Nebuchadnezzar's rage exploded violently throughout Babylon's crowded royal court. The furnace was heated hotter than anyone had witnessed before previously. The furnace became so hot, guards feared approaching the flames closely anymore. Yet the Hebrews walked calmly toward the roaring fire without resistance together. The faithful Hebrews disappeared completely inside Babylon's roaring furnace before everyone. Moments later, mysterious figures began moving peacefully inside the blazing fire afterward. Nebuchadnezzar stared into the furnace, overwhelmed by fear and disbelief suddenly. The terrified king counted 4 men walking unharmed within the flames. Inside the furnace walked 4 glowing figures untouched by the flames. The mysterious 4th figure appeared unlike anyone Babylon had ever seen before. The flames swirled violently around the Hebrews without harming them at all. Even their clothing remained untouched inside Babylon's roaring furnace. Nebuchadnezzar rushed toward the furnace and called the Hebrews outside immediately. The entire empire watched silently while the faithful men emerged unharmed together. Not even smoke remained upon the Hebrews after leaving Babylon's furnace completely. Nebuchadnezzar suddenly praised the God he once challenged before nations publicly. Years passed while Babylon grew richer beneath Nebuchadnezzar's powerful rule greatly. Yet pride quietly began growing once again inside the king's heart deeply.
Hail Nebuchadnezzar, King of
Another terrifying dream shook Nebuchadnezzar's soul during the dark night suddenly. A mighty tree towered above nations beneath storm-dark heavens throughout earth itself. A heavenly messenger descended beside the gigantic tree from stormy skies. The glowing watcher commanded the mighty tree be cut down forever. Nebuchadnezzar summoned Daniel again to explain heaven's terrifying vision immediately tonight. Daniel hesitated sorrowfully after understanding the judgment awaiting Babylon's king. Daniel warned Nebuchadnezzar that pride would destroy his kingdom forever. Eventually, if unrepentant, heaven would remove the mighty ruler from power. For 12 months, Nebuchadnezzar ignored heaven's warning without humility or repentance. One evening, the proud king glorified himself above all nations publicly. Before finishing his speech, heaven's voice thundered across Babylon suddenly. Nebuchadnezzar's mighty kingdom was removed from him instantly before everyone nearby. The ruler of Babylon lost his mind before every nation watching publicly. Nebuchadnezzar wandered alone beneath open heavens like a wild beast silently. For years, Babylon watched its mighty king disappear into madness, completely alone. Yet heaven had not forgotten Nebuchadnezzar, despite his terrible downfall entirely. Suddenly, Nebuchadnezzar's understanding returned beneath glowing, heavenly light. One peaceful morning, the humbled king lifted his eyes toward heaven and worshipped God faithfully. Nebuchadnezzar returned humbled beneath Babylon's towering golden walls.
Drink! Celebrate the might of Babylon!
Yet another ruler would soon dishonor heaven before the empire. A new king named Belshazzar ruled Babylon with arrogance and pride. Unlike Nebuchadnezzar, he feared neither judgment nor the God above. One night, Belshazzar hosted a feast for Babylon's rulers and nobles. Music and laughter echoed loudly throughout the glowing palace halls. Belshazzar ordered sacred vessels from Jerusalem's temple into the celebration tonight. Holy treasures became entertainment before Babylon's idols and drunken nobles. The palace suddenly fell silent beneath flickering torchlight and fearful whispers. A mysterious hand appeared and wrote glowing words across the wall. Belshazzar's face turned pale while the glowing message burned brightly nearby. Fear spread rapidly throughout Babylon's feast hall before the shocked kingdom. None of Babylon's wise men understood the terrifying message upon the wall. Once again, confusion and fear overwhelmed the empire's royal palace completely. Then the queen remembered Daniel, the prophet from Nebuchadnezzar's forgotten reign. The elderly prophet entered Babylon's court one final time before kings. Belshazzar promised Daniel riches, honor, and power for the mysterious interpretation. That very night, the mighty empire would collapse before surrounding nations. Outside Babylon's walls, enemy armies moved silently beneath the darkened skies. Inside the palace, celebration continued without understanding approaching destruction nearby. Before sunrise, Babylon's mighty gates were breached beneath the covered darkness. The empire ruling Earth collapsed within a single unforgettable night. Babylon disappeared exactly as Daniel had prophesied years before the kingdom. Yet the prophet's greatest trial still waited ahead before heaven. A ruler named Darius placed Daniel above the kingdom's powerful leaders publicly. Once again, jealousy quietly began growing around the faithful old prophet. The kingdom admired Daniel's wisdom more than every ruler surrounding Darius. Soon, the king planned placing Daniel above the entire empire permanently. Jealous officials searched desperately for corruption hidden inside Daniel's long service. After decades of leadership, they still discovered no fault against him. Then the officials discovered Daniel prayed faithfully every single day openly. A dangerous plan immediately began forming inside their jealous hearts afterward. The rulers convinced Darius signing a law across the Persian Empire, nobody could pray toward any god except the king for days. The moment Darius signed the decree, Daniel's trap became fully complete. Persia waited silently watching whether the prophet would obey heaven faithfully. Daniel continued praying beside his open window exactly like before, daily. 3 times each day, the old prophet knelt before God faithfully. The jealous officials rushed triumphantly before Darius, accusing Daniel before everyone publicly. The prophet had broken Persia's royal law exactly as expected beforehand. Darius realized too late that manipulative rulers had deceived him completely. Yet Persian law could not change, even by royal command anymore. As evening approached, Daniel walked toward the lion's den beneath torchlight silently. Fear spread once again throughout the kingdom, watching the prophet disappear. Before Daniel entered the pit, Darius whispered one final, hopeful prayer softly. The grieving king begged Daniel's God, protecting him throughout the terrible night. Then the massive stone sealed the den before the watching kingdom. That night, Darius could not rest inside Persia's silent royal palace alone. The grieving ruler waited desperately for sunrise, while fearing Daniel's death. Inside the den, massive lions surrounded Daniel beneath heavenly light, peacefully tonight. Yet the old prophet remained calm, while heaven protected him faithfully. Before sunrise, Darius hurried toward the lion's den, filled with fear anxiously. The king barely dared, hoping Daniel survived the terrifying night below. Then Daniel's voice answered from the darkness beneath the sealed stone, calmly. The prophet remained alive, while lions never harmed him during night. The stone rolled away, while Persia watched Daniel emerge from darkness safely. Behind him, the lions remained peaceful beneath heaven's unseen protection nearby. King Darius embraced Daniel with overwhelming relief before the watching kingdom publicly. Once again, heaven protected the faithful prophet from impossible death completely. The rulers planning Daniel's death suddenly trembled before Persia's furious king afterward. Their carefully planned trap completely collapsed before heaven's power and justice. News about Daniel's survival spread rapidly throughout Persia and distant nations afterward. Darius issued a royal decree honoring Daniel's God above every nation publicly. Persia's empire now recognized heaven's authority after witnessing the miracle. Daniel continued serving faithfully through kingdoms, rulers, and generations, passing afterward peacefully. One night, Daniel received another terrifying vision beneath storm-dark heavenly skies alone. 4 monstrous beasts rose violently from the sea before him. Suddenly, Daniel watched kingdoms rising proudly before collapsing beneath heaven's eternal authority. Every empire of mankind eventually disappeared like waves throughout history completely. Then heavenly thrones appeared above nations, surrounded by fire and endless light. A glorious ancient king, a figure like the Son of Man, approached heaven's glorious eternal throne. He received a kingdom never-ending throughout every generation, forever. Daniel trembled beneath the overwhelming visions shown from heaven during the night. Yet God's eternal kingdom would outlast every empire upon earth forever. The prophet's surviving kings, lions, and fire slowly grew old through history. Yet Daniel's faith remained unshaken beneath passing kingdoms and changing rulers. Empires rose proudly against heaven before disappearing completely into forgotten history afterward.
If these stories touched your heart, please like and subscribe for even better stories in the future. If you want to learn how to make these stunning stories with animations, please go down to the description. It would help both us and you guys. See you guys later until the next episode.